all, all people, heritages, and backgrounds. And we're also planning on doing bulletin boards, like for the most part, every month. And this theme, we're planning on honoring our Black teachers at our school.
Excellent. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Julian Livingston, and we've been trying to do a lot of creative things like with artwork with the Black Student Union and stuff. We've been making posters, doing the bulletin board and stuff like that, the door decorating, and we're doing a art gallery in one of the upstairs hallways to showcase any students who have made art that focuses on like a Black figure, Black history, a Black fictional character, and or anything to admire Black history and Black culture, and to hopefully shed some light on some talented artists around the school.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alea Daniels, and the Black Student Union is currently doing a door decorating contest for Black History Month. We're looking to honor African American heroes by asking our fellow Gateway students and staff to decorate their homeroom doors in honor of a Black historical figure of their choice. As of right now, a lot of people have started participating, so we're happy to see that.
Excellent. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Daniela, and I'm also the secretary for this club. And we're planning on creating a fashion show showcasing Black identity. The title of this event will be called Black is Beautiful, and the details are still in progress, as this will be held in the later months. But we plan on making this a school-wide occasion open to all the students of Gateway in order to educate them on culture.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lovis Boateng, and my role is president of the BSU. So our incentive, what we wanted to do was basically to unite our Black students in Gateway and to inform and to educate. And on the educational standpoint, what I wanted to do was have maybe monthly teachings, or it doesn't have to be weekly, or just once in a while have teachings that maybe surround African history, just to educate our students. And my dad actually teaches African Studies at Pitt, so I wanted him to come and maybe have some teachings and something fun to make it educational as well as fun. So
I speak for the board when I say you need to let us know how we can help accomplish any or all of the things you're trying to do. Like the program you're talking about, obviously you probably have an in with your dad. So you might not need much help there, hopefully. But any of the other things you're trying to accomplish, we can probably help you do that in ways you might not even imagine. But we also don't know how to help you until you tell us. So there's an open invitation. However you want to reach out to us, our email's all available. So let us know how we can help. Okay? No, thank you. Thank you very much.
Can I ask a favor, if possible, with the door decorations and what you're doing, Mr. Spinola? Is it possible that somebody can do pictures and then we can send them to our tech department that they can put it on our homepage just to start?
We may have taken pictures of Spirit Day activities too. Did we do that? Yeah. We can send.
Okay. Micah, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
Now, have you already started decorating the doors? Okay, so if we want to come up and see them, then they're up.
They have until March 1st.
Oh, okay. I just wanted, So around March 1st. Thank all of you. And I think some of you went on the field trip last week. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So next time, bring cookies.
Next time.
That's right, John. You used to bring cookies for that.
Thank you. Thanks for spending all the
So you can hang around if you'd like. If you want to see this sausage being made, be my guest. If you feel like leaving at any time, don't feel bad about that. I I usually feel that way, but I have to stay. All right, we're going to move on to number 6, which is comments from residents on agenda items. Do we have any of those tonight? No? All righty. Let's move on to board member. Anyone have any discussion items amongst the board? Ma'am?
I think it was brought up last week from a parent that was asking about an ROTC program. I do know that talking to the recruiters at the Monroeville Mall, and they would like to, if possible, have a classroom setting where they can come in and maybe talk to kids about opportunity with the armed services. So, or the armed forces. So, I don't know, it might be something, I don't know, we can do a survey, see if there are kids interested, and maybe take some steps to look into it, to see what's available, and if it's something we could do, and if there's an interest in it.
I'm all in favor of that. Obviously, the board would, need to sort of decide, at least have a majority that wants to do that. I'd be amazed to hear that someone is opposed to that, so not completely amazed. Yes, sir.
So I have something, yeah. Bill gave me a call a couple of days ago, and he said that the class of 1968, the graduating class, they're going to try to get together and do something. And we were trying to brainstorm things that the classes could do, how they could work together. We've got the junior high school is going to be opening up late in the season. I thought maybe it would be nice to have some of the graduates come back and maybe have a tour of that, as well as the Gateway campus. But there are so many graduates out there that would be interested in, meeting together and so I think what we need to do is come up with a more formal way for classes to work together so that the wheel doesn't need to be reinvented all the time, such as fundraisers or sponsors or things like that. So if anybody has an idea to generally support all classes who have reunions or want to have get-togethers, get in touch with me and I'll help create a mechanism that's a little bit more formal so that we don't have to keep asking the same sorts of questions, like where does the money go that's left over from a given class graduation? Where's a good bucket to put it? That's a good question, but there should be good answers that are already lined up for those types of things.
Okay. Can we get back to Robin for one moment? So I don't know if we need like a think about this for a month and talk about it next time, or can't we just make a motion to?
Administratively, we can have the high school do a survey, bring the information back to the board, and then at that time, we can make that decision.
So it'll be on next month's agenda.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I just have a question too. Is there any update? We had 2 different mentoring programs, female mentoring programs, come in and talk to us. Is there any update of what has happened, if anything has happened? Does anybody know anything about them?
We talked about this briefly last week.
Yeah, and I know Dr. Chakey provided an update with the one group from last week's meeting, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything new, but along those same lines, in Sunday's Post-Gazette was an article about the Brookline Teen Outreach Program, which I actually reached out to the director because I was so impressed with what I read. I won't take time for everyone. If you want, you should check it out. It's called the Brookline Teen Outreach Program. Long story short, they started 7 years ago, 25 kids, an after-school program. It's now 300 kids. They utilize grad students in mental health and counseling and a variety of other disciplines to offer essentially a full range of services to these kids, and it's simply a drop-in program. No cost to the kids. I think that she told me her annual budget was something like $200,000 to essentially mentor and help these 300 kids, which is on a dollar per student kid, pretty impressive. So I've actually asked her to send me some information about what they do and how they work. I will share that with the board and the administration. They also have a consulting piece They actually were in the process of starting a program with Stowe Rocks, and then Stowe Rocks had some serious problems structurally, so that was put on hold. And so there's a number of ways they could work with us. To me, it's very encouraging and exciting. If you read the article, I think you'll feel the same way. So maybe those first two mentoring programs didn't work exactly as we'd hoped, but we're going to keep trying to find ways to help the kids do the best they can, be the best students they can, and make this the best district it can be. And I'll be in touch with that.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
So Jeff, one more thing. Remember a couple weeks ago, we had a question as to whether we should associate some of the students' IDs with some of the library's information. And we tried to think it through, and we erred on the side of caution. We said, no, let's find a different way to do it.
I remember that one.
After that, there was a report that one of the major healthcare systems had some sort of a leak. Many records somehow got out, and it occurred back in December. So what's today, like February? So they were trying to scramble all this time to figure out what was wrong, how to fix it, and all that kind of stuff. So even major healthcare corporations do their level best, as they should, to try to keep data secure, and sometimes things go wrong. So I think it was okay for us, difficult as it was, to err on the side of caution and keep our, data here and find a different way to have the students be able to freely go to the library and get the books that they need to advance.
Right, and just a reminder, we gave the library folks a few other options in how we could participate in getting more kids library cards and participating. We're still waiting to hear back, but yes, I agree. Thanks, John. Anybody else? Nope. Okay, we're going to move on. Oh, sorry.
One point, with due respect, what you brought out about the ROTC program, I remember being on University of California, Berkeley campus, and it used to be a big issue whether to bring ROTC on campus or not. And I come from those days. So it's an open question.
Right, and just to offer some context, I mean, post-Vietnam, of course, there was lots of tension about the military, about the ROTC, its role on campus, and in the wake of Kent State, even more intense emotions. The attitude about the military, when I was a veteran, we never wore our uniforms out in public for fear that, people would spit on us and things like that. Now you see a kid in uniform, you buy him lunch and thank him for his service. So everything evolves. And people are always complaining about how, life is worse than it was and America's worse. This is my concrete evidence it's not always true. If you're a veteran, the world treats you a lot better than they once did. So, yes, I'm completely comfortable with discussing the community's comfort with an ROT presence in our school. And I appreciate you reminding us that it's not always a slam dunk certainty that everyone's going to be in favor.
I'm biased because I'm a veteran.
And so is he.
This isn't the first time we've looked into an ROTC program. We just haven't had the interest, but it's always worth checking interests because people's interests change.
Absolutely. We've had individual students perhaps approach the principal and or board. We've asked around, surveyed students, and for whatever reason at the time, there was really no interest in it. But again, different time, different era. Why not go ahead
It
and
might be if you don't have any veterans in your family that you know of, you don't know what you don't know. So to have an organization come in and talk about a career in the military and the benefits to that, you might get someone that is now interested that maybe wasn't before.
Correct.
I became interested in it because my cousin was a recruiter. They did it, and I'm like, if they did it, let me see what it's about, because I didn't have anyone in my family that was a veteran that I knew of.
And I know we made a concerted effort over the years to have, if not monthly, tables set up in the cafeteria, lunchroom.
Recruiters were always there.
Yeah.
Now, whether the students, I don't know if they took advantage of that opportunity to talk with them, but they always said.
I think when you're in the lunchroom, I mean, that's your free time.
Yeah,
You know,
so
if
I
you-
didn't
if you
see
have an
kids really approaching.
And that was at the request of the recruiters to go into the lunchroom.
They were actually got the room.
Well, they figured they'd catch all the
I've
kids.
received letters of permission letters with my sons when they were in high school on the military contacting them or not. So there's a little bit of exposure throughout their high school career, but that's usually
And
like
going back,
post-high school. It's not an ROTC program, that's during school.
I want to say 30 years ago, but there was a time whenever recruiters weren't really welcomed into high schools.
Well, you see the benefits of sports, and
Yeah.
not all kids have an opportunity to be involved in sports for whatever reason. And this might be an opportunity for them to be in a team-type setting where they learn to work together, learn respect, self-esteem, all those things that we want every kid to have. And it would be like almost like a team, and they would do the same benefits of football.
And we've utilized the ROTC at graduation ceremonies in the past, and seeing camaraderie and the work together is quite impressive. Exactly.
Come on in, you can have a seat.
Well, and I agree with you, Rob, they don't know what they don't know, that could lead to the ROTC program at a college, or it can lead into a military career if somebody isn't college bound or trade bound, and
Or scholarships to college.
yeah, you know, payment to college, so this would open up an avenue, you know, across the board and be a little bit more equitable for reaching other.
We'll bring that information back to the board.
Just out of curiosity, is it that difficult to have a program in a high school, ROTC?
I don't think it's that difficult, it's just a matter of having the interest.
Right now, military recruitment is at a historic low. The military has never had this much trouble recruiting enlisted and officers for a variety of reasons. And it doesn't bode well for our country, and it's a huge conversation and topic, but the point is, the military is struggling to recruit people, and they're going to, change the way they do things and attempt to increase their success in getting young people interested. You don't have to make the military a career to benefit from it. I was in for 4 years. They were perfectly happy to see me leave at the end of my 4 years, and I shared their enthusiasm, but I learned a great deal about being, part of something larger than myself. They got wonderful benefits from it. It's not for everyone, obviously, but there are lots of kids who finish high school and they're not ready for college for a variety of reasons, and I think only 30%, 40% of Americans actually have college degrees. Does anyone know the number? Something like that. So not everyone leaves here headed off to get a 4 or more year degree. The military is a great way to get you ready to have a productive life, and so.
Well, since we're doing plugs for the military, there is also the reserve program.
Reserves, yes.
Which you can commit to for 6 years and get a full ride to a state university. So if you want to go to college and you don't want to have debt and you want free college, we have free
And
college.
especially when you're not sure, as you said, and you don't necessarily, when you go into the military, they expose you to a lot of opportunities, career
18 and 19
opportunities
years
that
old
many have followed through.
Very young.
Doctors, in the military, so. And the reserves, I was in the reserves, it was great for college.
What grade does ROTC start? Is it 9th grade or is it higher? Normal?
I have no idea.
I've only seen it at the high school level.
Yeah,
But is it 9th or is it 11th?
I want to say 10th and 11th grade, and then it moves on to
I
a
was just
senior
curious.
course, so. Mr. Morrow, I'm familiar with it, kind of, so.
All right, anybody else? Nope, let's get on to what do we need? Minutes. Got minutes from previous meetings. What do I hear? Who wants to go to the meeting? Anybody, let's hear a motion. There we go.
John seconds.
Motion's made and seconded. Those minutes from January 10 and 12 and 17 and 25 and February 8. Do we have any questions? Nope. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Beautiful. All right, let's get to the meat of this thing. You ready?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Bowe. Section B, financial reports, Mr. Zarellis.
Thank you, Dr. Short.
Section B, financial reports. Result that the Gateway Board of School Directors approved Sections B1 list of bills February 2023. Section B1 list of bills February 2023 added after the study session. Section B2 financial statements January 2023.
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any questions? None at all? Let's just hear it. All in favor? All in favor? Aye. All right, there you go. Next.
Section C, we don't have anything tabled currently.
Right.
From the previous meeting. Moving along to Section D, personnel agenda. Mrs. Jessel.
Thank you. We have 5 resignations represented on this agenda, along with a leave of absence and various transfers that go into page 3 of 4, along with 4 new hires and a long list of supplementals, 3 event workers, and then talent volunteers as well.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Do we have any questions for Ms. Jessel?
I have a comment. I just want to congratulate Maura Di Lucente. I had the pleasure of working with her for many years and wish her the best of luck in her retirement.
Thank you. And how are we doing on our attempts to recruit good people? Where do we stand? How many, we making progress?
We are. I believe custodial services are down 1 right now with the 2 recent ones that were, okay. So 3 at the moment, but we have 4 that we're actively interviewing. And then we additionally have 1 new maintenance position from a transfer that took place as well. With regard to food services, we have a few individuals that will be added to next month's agenda as well. And I have seen an increase in flow for both pairs as well as custodial as a whole has just really gone through the roof. So thank you all for your efforts to assist us with that.
Thank you for your
Thanks for your hard work.
See?
Any other questions? Nope.
It's B is not a typo, it's 2 separate people.
Correct. Sorry, let me double check.
Frederick A. Carlson and Frederick H. Carlson. B, event workers.
Oh, event workers, okay. I see what you're saying.
No, I don't believe that's a typo.
That's right. Okay.
Thank you.
That's what it's representing.
Let's have a roll call, Bonnie. I don't know why. I just feel like it.
Mrs. Cerrucci?
Aye.
Mrs. Delaney?
Aye.
Mrs. McBride?
Aye.
Ms. Mungo?
Aye.
Mr. Ritter?
Aye.
Dr. Singh?
Aye.
Mrs. Warren?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
And Mr. Bova?
Aye.
Moving right along.
Yes, sir.
Conferences and conventions. Section E, Dr. Chafee.
Okay, for conferences and conventions, we have 3 tonight for approval as listed.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on these? None?
No question on these in particular, but is there some type of a flyer or something that goes out to the staff with opportunities that they have for conferences or additional training?
That's a great question.
Not that I'm aware of. I think a lot of times teachers find some of these opportunities themselves.
A lot of
Clearinghouse.
emails come in, either to the staff, forwarded amongst each other.
Different associations.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And they become aware of these organizations and conferences, so.
So they have to pretty much initiate looking for it. Okay.
Any other questions? Nope. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. There you go. Get on to, we have any, yeah, we go, administrative.
Thank you, sir.
Administrative resolutions.
Elementary education, Dr. Rossi. Item number 1 is approve the display of the following pre-K materials. This will be pending final approval of the actual program and the 23-24 budget. Item number 2 is approve the affiliation agreement with IUP, pending final budget approval in June.
Item number 3, updated administrative regulations, schedule of rates, draft as depicted in Exhibit B. Item 4, 2023-24 school year calendar. Item number 5, approve the following textbook materials for display. Item number 6, AIU, approve the memorandum of understanding with the K-12 English as a second language department in the AIU.
Business Manager, item 7, approve the software agreement with Skyward Incorporated. Item 8, approve the hourly rate increase for Weiss, Burkhart, and Kramer, LLC. Item 9, approval of the updated Act 20 resolution, delinquent taxes for Weiss, Burkhart, and Kramer, LLC. Item 10, approval of the agreement to participate with the Allegheny Intermediate Units Electricity Program Extension. Item 11, approval of the agreement with NRG Curtailment Solutions to provide energy-saving rebates to Gateway School District. Just a side note, we made over $18,000 last year participating in this. Item 12, acceptance of the district donations received for the 22-23 fiscal year. A, Bruce Dyson Associates, PC, $750 to the Gateway School District Fitness Trail. B, Charities Aid Foundation of America, $150 to benefit the Gateway School District Backpack Program. C, Chase Bank, $1,000 for students at Cleveland Stewart Elementary School for a Safer Internet Day. D, Pittsburgh Regional Food Services, $250 for the Backpack Program. And E, an anonymous donor must have been listening last month, 30 reflective vests and 12 traffic control wands for the pop-up food pantry. Item 13, the District Booster Club, recognize the District Booster Clubs and support organizations for the 22-23 fiscal year. Recognize the baseball boosters.
Thank you, sir.
So moved.
Any questions? Oh, we haven't, sorry, we'll skip right, hold it. We need to, Val moved
Second.
and seconded. Now you're up.
Sorry. Okay. Dr. Rossi, with the materials that, I guess they're located, the ones for the pre-K, the particular materials, was there a committee or a group that was approving? Was it the K? Because we don't have really pre-K. Well, I guess we do at the high school, but who selected and helped approve
There's actually
this?
a list from the state.
Okay.
So the list is provided by the state. So we chose these 3 based on the school visits we did and the publishers that we're familiar with.
Okay. And also, the Hate U Give, now, that particular course, Contemporary Themes and Literary Study, is that geared toward what, 11, 10th, 9th, 10th, 11?
That's upper class, like 11, 12. But I can double check that.
I saw the movie, which was excellent, so I thought that was good.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else?
Yes, let me find this here. The updated rate scheduled rates, will that go into effect when?
Immediately after the vote.
All right. And the school calendar, I know I had received some questions and comments about that, but you discussed the calendar with GEA.
It's pretty much typical. We have central office administrators, GEA. Collectively, we sit down, review multiple scenarios, and decisions were made and recommendations forwarded to the board.
Thank you. And one other, I want to thank the anonymous donor for the reflective vests and the control wands that will be put to very good use. Thank you.
Thank you. And one more thing about the schedule. We did have someone send an email about the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which I didn't think was a terrible idea myself. So the first question, is it too late to make any changes? And secondly, if indeed that was one of the changes, how would that impact our world? I'm sure it would be horrifically complicated because, it's one day.
Is the question to replace the Monday off with a Wednesday?
No, it is to add the Wednesday.
Yeah, Pittsburgh
Still
Public, we
keep
got
them on.
Wednesday and Monday, because Wednesday we had to cook.
Thanksgiving traveling.
But by removing that day, it would create an issue where we would have to go back into the calendar and look at adding another instructional day within.
I assumed that was the
context
case.
of the calendar, yes.
I did.
Why don't we do flexible instruction day that day?
Can't pre-plan it.
That does not cover the flexible instructional day.
Isn't that what we did with the after
Guidelines.
New Year's this year?
Correct.
Did we do that for weather, or did we do that?
Primarily for weather at that time.
Well, I'm anticipating some bad weather on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So I think we got a lot of smart people. We can figure this out. What do you think?
Question. So, okay, question, as we're discussing that. The students need to be in school how many days? 182?
182.
65.
No, 360. 182. Is it mandatory 182 or is it 180?
We have built in-service days in lieu of in conversations with the GEA. So your question is 180 days?
Is that what mandatory is 180?
Yes.
Okay. So there's 2 days.
I understand, yeah.
We're not cutting back on educating our children.
I didn't say.
Again, the only thing that I would ask, the information was sent out to the board. If there was this issue, please send it to us in advance so then we can come back to the board with a revised calendar.
I apologize. It's my fault, although the email that I
The
received,
discussion meeting was last week, people.
it was, the email I received, I think we all received, was just a couple days ago, and it hadn't occurred to me until that moment that was a perfectly reasonable suggestion.
Yeah, and I think that suggestion was to remove Monday.
Yeah, that part,
We could do
well, that emailer had questions about how many kids
we do that?
had permits to hunt, and I thought that was getting a little in the
We have
weeds.
emails coming in, why don't we have Monday off?
I know, I'm suggesting.
Yeah, you're suggesting both off.
Are you pointing at Ms. Dessel, who's got her hand
December
up?
22nd, December 22nd, we build in to help allow things to flow properly for breaks. We could, if that Wednesday is important, swap Friday, December 22nd for Wednesday, November
Whatever.
22nd.
Wow, we just have to
That
change
would
the month.
be the caveat. You'd have to swap the two of those if that's what we were wanting to do.
Would we have to go back to the GEA though, since I don't know what that contract looks like.
I will
Yes.
Okay.
let Dr. Short answer that one.
Okay.
Yes, that was part of the conversation.
We can just wait.
I know Dr. Rossi was in that
Well, we could do that. We could aim for next year, I suppose.
Let's revisit this next year. Make a note.
Don't look at me, I just brought up.
I'm the one who brought it up, and I'm not sure I'll be here next year, but
Oh, nobody's gonna wanna give up the 22nd, that's the Friday before Christmas.
That was the discussion, was that we needed an additional day during that time frame.
We will mark down that we will, moving forward with the calendar for next year, examine that Wednesday and Monday off.
And we can pray that it snows and then have a flexible instruction day.
On Tuesday.
Wednesday, on that Wednesday.
listen, just to be clear, I'm in favor of more days off during the school year and a shorter summer, but I'm pretty sure I'm in the minority, so.
Monday at the end of the year.
All right, so excellent. Any more questions?
Yeah, on number 11,
Yes, ma'am.
Mike, you said that we saved $18,000 with NRG.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And can you explain a little bit number 10? What is that?
We have Duquesne Light for a utility company.
I know it's number 10.
Oh, I'm sorry, number 10.
Yeah.
Oh, it's part of the consor, we buy electricity through Duquesne Light through the Allegheny County. It's like a consortium.
Okay.
They buy a fixed price, they get a better deal with kilowatt hours, peak hours, and things of that nature.
Okay, so for Duquesne Light, and then.
And the word NRG, Duquesne, well, this number 11's letting Duquesne Light share our information, our data with NRG. Then they come out, they'll shut our power down a couple times a year for an hour. And we know that ahead of time, and they'll go on and check things. And by doing that, we get a rebate back.
Got it.
By
Okay.
participating in it.
We always announce to our employees that the power will be off at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Good question.
Any others? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Excellent.
Aye.
Nice work, Ms. Cerrucci. Moving on to Section G, resolutions presented by board members. Dr.
Singh.
Dr. Singh, would you like to one more time tell us what your resolution is?
I would like to be considered for becoming a candidate for Allegheny Intermediate Unit Board of Directors. It's a 3-year position, starting from 23 to 26. And so I would like your vote.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Does anyone have any questions about this?
I just would like to know your interest level, Dr. Singh. Why do you want to be on the AIU board?
What I have in mind is that as from the library board, one of my colleagues got into the county library board, and he kinds of gives a report of what he learns like a month, and I think it's very useful to the people. So I think I will give you feedback what I learned over there. I'm sure Dr. Short gets a whole report, and there is somewhere there is a whole YouTube for it. But it's getting few sentences from a human being is important. So one of the features I will propose. And basically, other second point probably I can say is that I'll try to present the same point of view.
And sent out a legislative update that I get from Joe Chalice, the solicitor down at the IU. So there are essentially meetings similar to like Forbes Road and Sunrise that Dr. Singh would be looking to join.
So Dr. Singh, with all due respect, I'm going to vote no on this. I would like to see any school board member that serves on the AIU have more experience in many of the other topics that not only our district have, but many of the other districts have as well, in attempting to solve some of the problems, to get more experience, to see what works and what doesn't work, and how to propose some of those, and then to see the level of effort that needs to go into it and the successes that can be generated and modeled for other districts as well, not just for our state, but for many other states. So I think I would be happy to vote for you in the future for this, but not right now.
I'll be voting yay because I appreciate the fact that you're willing to take your time. We all have to start somewhere, so thank you.
Yeah, and I'm going to do the same because sometimes a fresh set of eyes is also useful, but I don't know why we're doing this before we actually
I know,
vote.
that's what I was just going to say.
So do we have any more questions? Nope. So let's have a roll call, please, Bonnie.
Yes. Mrs. Delaney?
Yes.
Mrs. McBride?
Aye.
Ms. Mungo?
Aye.
Mr. Ritter?
No?
Dr. Singh?
Aye.
Mrs. Warning?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Boba?
Aye.
And Mrs. Cerrucci?
Aye.
All right, thank you, and thank you, Dr. Singh. And I guess, actually, you'll be competing with others for that spot, right? Correct.
Yes, there's an
Good luck in that. All right, let's move on to comments from residents on non-agenda items. Who do we have? Nobody.
Anybody signed up?
No one signed up? No one standing up? All right.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Fine with me. Dr. Short, apparently Ms. Cerrucci is not interested in hearing your report.
Real quick. Got a motion and a second.
We're just going to recap.
It was a kidding motion. Kidding motion.
Motion to get Mr. Dice a sense of humor.
No.
Mr. Dice has no sense of humor.
Yeah, motion to get him one. All in favor? All right, I'm sorry, let's go. Dr. Short, we need your superintendent's report.
Real quick, had a very unfortunate situation happen today in Monroeville. I'm sure all of us are aware. I do want to acknowledge Chief Cole and his response to the school district. He phoned me right away. I was actually on a phone call with Dr. Rossi coming out of a meeting at the high school. He alerted me to the situation, really provided me with enough information that he even recommended that there was no need for a lockdown within any of our school buildings. We were also able to provide him some information related to the actual incident itself, but also want to acknowledge the work of Anisha, who was on hand, came up, and we brainstormed together different routes for our school buses, getting them into the Glenwood area, and contacting the parents, most importantly, with the blast that went out from my office, including those families who were riding buses as well, to provide them with information. So a lot that happened midday into late afternoon, but, the system worked, and I want to thank everyone for their support and help with that. So,
Thank you. All right, let's get some board committee reports. Do we still go?
Sure, I'll go.
Go ahead.
Okay. We had a security committee meeting from 4 to 5:30 today, and we discussed a lot of ways to potentially improve our school police force, our, what would you call, secondary type security staff that we have in place, job descriptions, communication with the staff about roles and responsibilities, and we also talked about some creative ways to actually add a few more staff, because we would like to have a few more school police officers. So it was a good meeting, and anticipate some more information to come out of that and improvements in that program. Go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's go right down that side then. Ms. Warning.
Okay, yes. First off, I want to send my condolences to the Tartaglione family. Lost a good friend this past week. Richard passed away this past Friday, and he will be missed. He was very active in the Gateway School District, and it's a tough loss. And, okay, on to brighter notes. The basketball team will be playing McKeesport tomorrow night at Norwin at 8 o'clock. And
You sure it's 8?
8 o'clock.
There's, I think, a doubleheader, 6 and 8.
Right. And if you can, get out there and support our Gator boys. Also, March 4th through the 29th, there will be K through 12 art show at Monroeville Library. Please stop out and look at our artwork of our great students. And yesterday, I was fortunate to be a guest of the Girls Leadership Academy that was put on by our high school. Ms. Colleen Tortorella. It was fantastic to see the kids, the girls, involved with the many different activities they had planned for it. Hopefully that we can make it bigger and better the next years, but it was very well done. I want to thank everyone for being a part of it.
I was there for 5 minutes.
Yes, you did not fit in.
Yes. Joke, yeah. No joke, yeah.
Wow. Yes, that's it.
Anything else?
That's it.
Ms. Delaney.
Okay. I think I mentioned at last Tuesday's meeting that I was going to be chaperoning some of the students. It was about 40, in fact, it was 40 students, high school students that went to the Soldiers and Sailors for the Black Student Summit. And our students, Gateway was well represented, very well behaved. In fact, all of the students were. It was a wonderful program that was put on. And I did ask a few students, they said they'd enjoy it. And I said, did you just want to get out of class? They said, yes. But they said they enjoyed it.
They were honest.
So I was glad to have been a part of that and to help chaperone with that. And both myself and Ms. Sarushi, as well as Val, Miss Warning, we all were in attendance at the summit, the leadership, the girls' leadership, which again is a beautiful program that I commend Colleen Torelli, because it's so important that our young women, as well as our young men, see themselves as valued, see themselves as important, and that's what that was about in leadership roles, and I think we'll see more of that. I'm hoping that she's going to continue with this, and we get more students out. We know it's a sacrifice when students give up a day that they have off and can sleep in, but those that do come out, we appreciate it, and even some of the staff members that were there as well. We appreciate everyone who contributed their time for that program. And just also, last thing, Dr. Short had mentioned to me about CBS 60 Minutes program, Julianne Richardson, and I did have an opportunity to look at the link for the 60 Minutes. Julianne Richardson is part of what she developed, the History Makers, and it was very fascinating, and I started to read even more about her. She started documenting Black history, not just from our usual suspects of Dr. King and Rosa Parks. She actually, I think they had up to 3,400 interviews at this point of individuals who have contributed culturally and historically into Black history. And it is amazing. If you get a chance, you can go on the 60 Minutes and see the I guess it's through YouTube, the link. I'm not sure how that's set up, but go on 60 Minutes. It was this past Sunday, and I'm sure you would learn a lot and appreciate a lot. And what you probably didn't know, Dr. Shore, is that she was born in Pittsburgh.
I did not know that.
I thought you did. All right, and that's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
I was
Mr.
born in
Ritter.
Pittsburgh. So listen,
Were you really? I thought you were born in Monroeville.
don't forget we have on Tuesday the Mosside Middle School 8th grade band concert along with the Gateway folks. They're going to have a concert up here. I'm going to go to that.
Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday? Yeah, 7 to 8 p.m. My heart also goes out to Rich Tartaglione and his family, Patty. He was an institution, he graduated in 1969 or 70, and his heart's been with Gateway ever since. So the same with his sister, Patty, and so our hearts go out to the entire family. The advocacy update that I've got for us is the recent election that occurred put 3 Democrats in office, which changed the balance of power. So the calendar had to be adjusted so that the advocacy day that was planned by PSBA is a day that the legislators won't be in Harrisburg. So they came up with a different approach. It's going to be virtual. Now, what that does on our behalf is anybody that didn't want to go out to Harrisburg and knock on the legislators' doors, we could all Zoom in. So right before the meeting, there's going to be some background or information given to the board, anybody that wants to attend these meetings. Background on the topics, the way to present it, the way to build an argument, the way to talk with the legislators and offer them a solution and propose that and encourage them. It can be done virtually. So I'm encouraging all of our school board members, if you've never knocked on a legislator's doors, you get to do it virtually and watch others who have done it before see it, not just our district, but many other districts, not just to talk with our legislators, Brewster and Markozik, but many of the others, some from around our area as well. So this is a great way to get your feet wet with respect to the General Assembly and advocacy for the things that are near and dear and heavy on our hearts as school board members, these impossible tasks that we have. This is one way to help move some of that burden to where it might be able to be solved with some creative thinking and some encouragement to the people that need it most, our legislators.
John, one quick question. Do they still have the weekly buzz?
Not weekly, monthly.
It's monthly.
Yeah, and there are many other opportunities out there. There's a legal legal update presentation that's going to be given next month. Sign up for that to learn about all the legal policies that are being thought through right now and how it affects some of the homelessness and policies that we need to chew on. So there's a legal update. There's other updates out there, board policy updates. There's a couple different trainings for school board members that are going to be held. So lots and lots of things that PSBA wants to offer to us if we want to take advantage of it. And we all get the same email. So just open those up once in a while, see if they could benefit us.
All right, thank you, John. Let's go across the room. Ms. Mungo.
I have nothing.
Mr. Williams, you have anything for us?
Yes, my thoughts and prayers go out again to the Richard Tartaglione family, also known as Mutza. And he was an employee at Gateway. He's a life member at Camp B. He was a friend, and he will surely be missed. And also it was brought to my attention that we need new starting blocks at the pool and a new sand trap. And Val, help me out. I think I'm missing something. Where do we go on the budget? Is this capital improvement? It's something that needs to be addressed. It's a safety concern for our children.
Mr. Williams, I missed the first part of that.
Starting blocks.
Starting blocks for the
8
pool.
starting blocks. They're a little bit slippery. They're much more advanced starting blocks. You can take the old ones out, put the new ones in, but it has to be done right, and they're expensive.
Starting blocks, what was the other thing you said?
Sand and
And then we need the pits for the long jump and the pole vault, I believe.
And that would go into the budget, Mr. Hall's budget.
Is it capital improvement for buildings and grounds, or is it athletics?
This would go into the athletic budget. Yes.
All right. And one other question, the kiln that we've talked about.
It's been
Where-
ordered.
Okay,
Yes.
I just wanted to know.
Like shaking his head right now.
Okay,
And
just
is
double
the-
checking.
Wasn't there an electric service issue that needed to be upgraded for that kiln? Do I remember that?
It's
all part of
that.
Yeah,
It's all part of that.
Dave looked at it, inspected it, and I believe it's part of the
Part of the bid.
How long,
6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8
Yeah,
so we should have to.
we ordered it
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. We ordered it. Yeah.
Sounds good, thank you very much.
Thank you. Scotty, is that all, Scotty? You have anything else?
That's all I have this evening. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome, Mr. Williams. Over to Dr. Singh
Not anymore, thank you.
and Ms. McBride.
No, thank you.
Tremblingly quiet tonight, Ms. McBride. All right, I only have a couple things.
Jeff, before we get to yours, any update from transportation or the assistant superintendents or the finance guys or?
I asked Dr. Short about that, and he said that there were none.
Okay, very good.
If Dr. Short and I were wrong, anyone want to volunteer anything?
Mr. Dice, he's sitting here.
Bruce?
Legal updates, folks?
I have no legal update tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Anyone else want to break my train of thought? Anybody? No. Fortunately, I made notes, so they can't do that. Richard Mutza was a pretty big presence in Pitcairn and at these meetings and as an employee, and he was endlessly cheerful and positive, and he will indeed be missed. That security meeting that Ms. Cerrucci mentioned, I'm sure that all the folks involved in education started without any thoughts of security meetings and budgets and police departments, and it's such a task to try to figure out how to best protect our students and our staff, and it's ever evolving. I think we're blessed with awfully good people doing the best they can every day, and if we can augment and help them in any way, then we will do that. I went to the basketball game, and strangely, the way that, this is an apology and an explanation, people complained to me because it was an SRO kind of thing, because we sell tickets at the gate, and Whitfield also sells tickets online. So we actually had more people than seats. Yeah, and I'm not, that wasn't us. I just want the world to know. That was a Whitfield thing, and I don't know, there's a way to fix that.
WPIL is responsible for the ticket sales online for all playoff games. It's out of the hands of the actual districts themselves.
So it was wonderful. We had a full house and a great outcome, but people were a little grumpy because they had bought their tickets online and gotten here and had no place to sit. So again, my apologies to them, but that was not our doing.
Sounds like it was our fault then.
They actually
Because
have
Whitfield oversold?
a seat count, which they cut off.
We had we sold
The
tickets.
WPIL cuts
And
off.
Whitfield also did, so we had no
Coming
idea how
here,
many they
we
sold.
didn't know how many were sold at the time,
They were
correct?
selling well into,
WPIL should have updated the site manager. Again, the site manager usually is an appointed person and/or the athletic director from the host site. But the WPIL does handle all of those.
So just,
We're upcoming.
well, I know
Tomorrow night is at Norwin.
that Friday, we are hosting Central Catholic here,
Yes.
which will probably be,
Big.
I don't know, but if we run into that again, that's the only problem.
yeah, exactly. So that's why I kind of brought it up. If there's any, obviously you'd like a finite number of tickets sold, and that might match up with the amount of seats, but I don't know how often this happens. Anyway, we'd prefer it not to happen again. And that's all I'm sorry.
You could always check with the musical because they have like the seating chart and they cross them off. Anyhow,
Okay.
You're in charge of that.
that's okay. No.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.